Hey guys, this is Jamie. Um, I was pretty much thinking not to do something today, but I figured because I managed to put myself into makeup, I'll do it regardless. So today we're gonna talk about beauty standards. Um, I do want to preface that this is from my experience and what I've seen, because obviously it really depends on which part of the world you are, uh, your own circumstances, um, whether society deems you attractive or not, and whether you kind of blend in into the society beauty standards or whatever. So I wanted to start off by saying that I do feel like the beauty standards are becoming more lax in certain cases. Like specifically when you go now on Instagram, I feel like a few years back it was far more difficult to find not super overdone photos specifically. Like for instance, people are more embracing towards pores, acne, and etc. While at the time people would pretty much just blank them out. And I'm not saying that people don't do that right now, because obviously a lot of people do, but at the same time people get called out, like Tana Mojo got called out for over editing, for instance. And yes, you have obviously a bunch of pressure to conform, to be pretty, attractive. I still feel like we're moving forward as a society when it comes to acceptance, because you still have beauty pages, regardless if they sell you like a Too Faced palette. You're still gonna scroll their feed and you're gonna see more. It is mostly cis woman though, cis woman positivity. I wanted to add that to make sure. So you still see more like stretch marks, pregnancy, more pregnancy posts, like post pregnancy bodies, this that, and people still talk about body issues. And even though I would say that I do wish it was a more intergender conversation, so we'd have more male body positivity, more trans body positivity. And I'm not just saying cis woman, but like trans woman, trans guys, cis guys, non-binary individuals. While all of this is still a focus on female positivity, cis female positivity, and this is still an issue. Like for instance, you still have, and I try not to talk about it a lot, but since we are going there, I am going to go there. So you have I'm a big fan of the KVD rebrand. Well, not as much for the last palette, but for certain items, I still really enjoy their stuff, and I really enjoy their pomade. And you can see me with all these crazy colors. But for instance, the last lipstick line had all the names were like she defines womankind and etc. And they were all about female positivity. And I remember I was looking at the comments, and I didn't even want to buy the lipsticks, but I like the formula. I mean, I bought one eventually in Sephora. But some other guy in the comments was saying, well, this kind of feels really weird because makeup already is catered for women, and you're catering even more just towards women. You're alienating your male and non-binary audience in this case by calling by doing that. And they were like, no, we're all pro everyone positivity, but we want to raise women in this case. But he did do a valid point, because makeup is already deemed as a female thing these days. So of course, if they did something like he defines, or I don't know, something male-esque or non-binary, would be an interesting push and an interesting one. Because I remember there was Chanel, and I think Tom Ford as well, which did boy lines, and they received a bunch of backlash for doing lipsticks and different makeup products which had male names and were oriented towards men. So that would have been something more interesting if KVD did that, for instance. But they didn't. And they have all those cringy names. I'm sorry, I really don't like them, even though I adore the formula. And going back to the beauty standards, I wanted to say that it's still getting better, because many years ago it was very difficult for men to wear makeup. And like, even when you'd go like to a beauty store, it was very uncommon to see a male shop assistant with makeup. You still have the stories of Patrick Star, Manny. uh I really do not like Manny. I'm not standing up, I'm just saying, like, in general, because he still put the way for many, if we're talking about YouTube, beauty gurus, and etc. So they still spoke about, well, it was difficult for them to find jobs, it was difficult for them to just do makeup, and to do it even at their makeup counter jobs or as a freelance. So right now, even though we are moving towards this makeup positivity, we still have like womankind, woman defined, she defines, I don't know, woman sign, whatever. In like KVZ, or you have the Patrick Ta, for instance, which is she's LA, she's Hollywood, she's everything, and it's like, this is really cringy, because I think nearly all of his products have she something, and it's also like by a male beauty icon, beauty makeup artist. So it does feel a bit too pandering, but who am I to say? He's making money, and yeah. But at the same time, I wanted to raise, like, it's not exactly my place to talk about this, but when it comes to trans woman representation, I feel like it's getting a bit more strict in a way, because obviously trans women have been a massive target for violence, murder, and etc. for God knows how much. And specifically because it's more difficult, again, from my opinion, because very often trans women are straight. Obviously they go for someone which is outside of the LGBT community, so you go for cishet men, and it's a much different dynamic than, for instance, as a trans guy, you go for gay guys. In my case, because I'm gay. So obviously they have to. So it's really interesting, because you see all this positivity for cis women, but you don't see barely anything for trans women. And considering the fact that we're living in a very, very TERF-oriented world, you have JK just spewing TERF bullshit. You have a lot of lesbians speaking out against trans women, against trans men, and in general, it's not a very good place right now when it comes to opinions, let's put it that way. So I feel like when it comes to trans women, they really have a much more rigid sort of mold to fit in. And it's not just because of trying to fit in into cishet society, but also the LGBT community shuns them as well. And so there is some positivity, there isn't some positivity. And when it comes to trans guys, I feel like it's getting more diverse. Because before, you'd pretty much, I remember when, even before I came out, it was pretty much everyone just dressed up, very, very masked, very sort of boy next door. And that was it. You didn't really even see that many gay trans guys. And right now, obviously, you have Gottmik and Drag Race. You have, I don't know, pretty much nearly all the YouTubers are, trans guy YouTubers are either bi or gay. Obviously, you have straight ones. But you still see the variety. It's not everyone just wearing flavans, however you pronounce it, shirts and shorts, you know? And obviously, when it comes to makeup, you don't get that much scrutiny as you would in the past. Because back in the day, you'd have like people telling you, oh, you can't pass with makeup, oh, you look like this, you look like that. And even I got that back in the day, that I look like someone's aunt, and I stopped wearing makeup like altogether for months. So people, I think, were much more vile back in the day because they just were really scared. And well, and you still have it to this day. You still feel very scared to pass, and you're like, if I'm not passing with lipstick, neither should Bob pass with lipstick, you know? So it's a very difficult situation and everything. So I also wanted to shed light on that and finish it off. I just wanted to say that obviously we still live in a society where we get microaggressions. Like, I remember last time I was in Lisbon, I was in Mac, and they pretty much didn't want to serve me. They were saying, like, oh yeah, get this, like, thing to laminate your brows. And I was like, I don't enjoy laminating my brows, because I'm, like, pomade all the way, or, like, a pencil if I'm lazy. And one of the shop assistants didn't even say hi to me and just bumps into me. And the other guy was barely serving me, and he just wanted me to leave. And I was like, I'm just here to get a mascara and asking some products, and they were just absolutely rude to me. But that was pretty much their assumption that a guy without makeup has nothing to do by buying makeup at the time. And because I've been passing for so many years, and obviously I have a beard and everything and a deep voice, so I did see that they felt like it wasn't my place to buy mascara or whatever. But even small things like that, they ache. And obviously, when you have a streak of not having bad interactions, even the smallest ones can send you spiraling. And I don't want to say that my incidents at Mac has to do, like, was the most horrifying experience of my life, you know? But it did sort of make me really angry, and it tweeted a bunch of angry tweets. But that's what happens. And I still find it very interesting that Instagram and people on beauty platforms are pushing for this sort of like new evolution that we should accept our pores. It's okay to do ugly makeup, ugly. And even I myself, like, I was looking today, like, I have a spot here. Yes, I'm still talking about my spots. But I was like, oh, whatever. Like, people show up with their pores, whatever. Because before I used to, well, I still am very obsessed with not showing my pores. But it's a different thing right now. Because people really accept it. It's okay to do makeup. It's okay to do, like, one eye color. It's okay to do whatever you want, so there's less pressure of doing a bunch of cut creases. There's less pressure to do 60 shades on your eyelid. There's less pressure to just slap your lipstick on. Or there's less pressure to do this, that. And I think it's good that beauty is evolving in that way. And I really wish it would keep evolving. And as well, I wanted to say that obviously I'm a guy in makeup. So I have a bit less pressure. For instance, when it comes to nails, I can have my nails chipped as much as I want. And it's still seen like a mask thing to have chipped nails. Well, again, maybe in my world or etc. Because I remember when I was passing as female, I would try to keep my nails pretty much all neat and clean. But you know, times change. And I accepted myself, so I accepted my chipped nails. And I hope everyone else will accept their chipped nails. So I really hope that is a tendency which will continue growing. We'll see more positivity for trans women. We'll see more positivity for everyone else. And I just want to do a lighter subject today, rather than just talk about trans stuff in a negative way. So I wanted to point out that we're still evolving a bit as a society and not everyone's a knucklehead. And I'm also really tired because I have a lot of stuff going on, and I will be having more stuff going on. But I will try to keep doing videos, and I'll try to do updates more on certain things rather than just sitting down on the subject, but actually be useful to society. So yeah, thank you very much for watching. If you like this video, please click a like. I get a bunch of dislikes, I don't know why. And If you enjoyed it, please subscribe. You'll get to see my face every week. Thank you.